Hello, welcome to another tutorial. Now in this tutorial I'm going to talk about depth and variation and how they can be used to improve your builds in Minecraft. Now, you may have heard these words before, so this video is just going to try and explain the concept behind them. So, here we've just got a pretty plain and boring cobblestone wall, and you can be forgiven if you built this in your first night of Minecraft, but after that you're going to want to add a little bit of detail. So, here I've added some buttresses, and these break up the wall, making it a little bit more interesting. And this is what I like to call positive depth, moving away from just a flat structure, adding a little bit of detail. But this is still just a wall of cobblestone, so let's add some variation. Now, simply by changing the outer blocks for stone brick, I've added some variation, helping to give the wall a bit of character. Depth and variation don't necessarily have to be separate elements, and I'll show you what I mean by that in the next wall. So, these cobblestone stairs make a nice pattern, which adds variation without having to use a different textured block. It also adds a negative depth, with the black stained clay behind it just to slightly add some colour. Now in terms of negative depth, some builders will say to intentionally build a wall 2 blocks thick, which allows you to come back and chisel away and make it a little bit more interesting. Now I'm quite happy with this design, and I don't want to overcomplicate things, so I've just added some half slabs at the bottom just to add a little bit more depth and make the wall look slightly more reinforced. Finally, I've added some details, such as the mossy and cracked stone. I've also added some buttons just to squeeze in a little bit more variation. Now let me show you an example of what can be built using these techniques. So, here it is. I copied the wall 4 times to make a base, and I've built the top using the exact same techniques of depth and variation. Now somewhere among it all, light levels come into play. Ambience can set a mood, though it's not always practical because of course mobs can spawn, though this is just something to bear in mind when building. Finally, I'd just like to mention how trees and plant life add to the positive depth of a building, breaking up the views while approaching the building, but also adding to views out of the building that may otherwise just be the sky. I hope this video has been really helpful. If it has, please give me a like, I'd really appreciate it. So, my name's IRClever, and I'll see you next time.